Well, a federal grand jury has subpoenaed former CIA Director John Brennan, along with former FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, among others, as part of the Justice Department's investigation into the origins of the Trump-Russia probe. Sources telling Fox News Digital the subpoenas were served Friday. Meanwhile, meeting notes from John Brennan and James Comey from 2016 reveal former Secretary of State and presidential candidate Hillary Clinton approved the effort to vilify President Trump by stirring up the Russia collusion scandal. Devin Nunes joined you yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, Maria.
For 10 years, we've had a conspiracy to do what? What's the law that they broke? What they broke is that they lied and misled Congress. Specifically, they concealed this information. They concealed the fact that they knew that this was a cover-up by the Clinton campaign. As I said in the last segment, instead of exposing the cover-up, they weaponized the Justice Department to go after their political opponents. All of this information was not only hid from the American public, it was hid from Congress over and over again. We know now that Brennan did it. We know now that Comey did it. We know now that likely Clapper did it. Now, what we don't know is
unbelievable.
Well, that weaponization of the DOJ, the CIA, something, Maria, that you've been reporting on for several years. Now, subpoenas have been issued. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, look, our audience, and me included, we want to see some accountability here. Liz, in my view, this was the #1 biggest political scandal anyone has ever seen. You had one political campaign, the Hillary Clinton campaign, just trying to take down her political enemy by coming up with lies about President Trump and then candidate President Trump. Because of her contacts in government, she was able to push this through government, putting it through the CIA, putting it through the FBI, so much so that they attached the Steele dossier to an absolute, real intelligence assessment. And, you know, we have the notes from John Brennan when he was in the Oval Office with President Obama. And he writes in his own little scribble, he writes, we have an alleged approval by Hillary Clinton on the July 26, 2016, of a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump and tie him by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by Russian security services and tie him to the Russians. He wrote it all out, Liz. We knew it from day one. I sniffed this out very early on, and I'm looking to see, because, you know, what happens here, because it ripped the country apart.
Yeah, and that's really the point, isn't it, Maria? Kudos to you for keeping this story alive. And I think what the American public needs to know, this hurt the country. It undermined President Trump for 4 years. It occasioned a great witch hunt, as he says, into accusations that proved to be totally bogus and basically were made up by political opponents. It doesn't get much worse than that. When you say it's the biggest political scandal of our lifetime, it was followed very quickly by pretending that Joe Biden was okay, and he wasn't okay.
That was the second biggest political scandal of our lifetime. That was the second, and I'm wondering if January 6th is going to be the third. So we've got our eyes on that one as well, because lots coming out of that. But just think about this, Mike. 2 weeks before President Trump is about to start his first term in 2017, all this is all over the place, going viral. Smears, lies of collusion and cheating going across the world. Just 2 weeks before he's about to take the helm in the Oval Office.
Maria, not only did they weaponize the power of the United States government, okay, to frame a sitting president as an agent of a hostile foreign nation, okay, we now have the Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, millions of people have died because of this nonsense, right? So even if you're not a Trump fan, even if you think Trump had something to do with Russia, okay, you can agree that had they not done this, there likely would have been a diplomatic channel to stop that war.
Oh, yeah.
So
there was such a dereliction of duty, and the dereliction of duty goes even beyond that, because look where we are with China. As they were saying, Russia, 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 China was eating our lunch. Now we're dependent on 90% of the underlying components of pharmaceutical drugs made in China and India. We're dependent on Taiwan for advanced semiconductor chips. All this should have been addressed in this 10 years of conspiracy against President Trump. Cheryl, thank you for that.